early. Okay, cool.
They'll be fine. 5 minutes. Yeah.
No,
Well, it takes them 5 minutes to get in there and get adjusted.
Right. See if you get notified.
Right.
Because sometimes we don't.
Sometimes we don't. And I'm just waiting for it to hit.
Here we are.
Waiting for the chat to... Okay, let's check it out.
Yeah.
It's in my head, that chicken now.
Maybe
Okay.
we'll use it.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Go. All right. Hi, guys.
There we go.
How's our volume?
How's our volume?
Let us know.
Yes, I am late tonight. Sorry.
Not too bad, though.
Right. Let's see how they... So, I think as they get in here, we'll talk about the Ascension issues.
Yes.
And then everybody's going to vent on that, those Ascension issues.
Hello, hello.
It's quiet. Man.
Moving along.
We're getting there. We're getting there. A little late, but we'll see what happens.
Better late than never, right?
That sun is another deal.
It's not the sun. It's a giant LED
spotlight. So we'll just talk about this. I am very sensitive to the sun, well, fake sun, real sun. And so we were talking about the Ascension issues. And then I went out in the sun and I've been dealing with a sore on my lip because of it blistering, because I was out there for 2 hours in front of the sun, whatever that is, that spotlight. So my skin is not happy about it. And I'm healing over it, but it's not, because it formed as a blister at first, and I was just outside. So I want people to know that this is from the sun, or whatever it is, and I've never had something like this where it does that. But it's uncomfortable, but it's at the healing process. It just looks darker. But yeah, I mean, so I am going to go over a list, because I've gotten an email on some of the stuff that people are having issues on that and everything. So, so yeah. So pretty funny on how things are going. You should show them that chicken.
Let's see.
Okay. I thought it was just something that me and Jeep got before.
Funny. Let's see.
I give you guys a crack up to start.
I
think it was funny. It's a chicken. Jelly.
That's what everybody was yelling, waiting to get on YouTube.
It was authentic. All I have to say about that. It was just
you need to laugh once in a while.
Right, you got to laugh about it, because it's just crazy how It is that way. So, I think when we talk about these issues, irritability, let's go into the irritability. Emotion is a big process that people are talking about that is affecting them in this energy that we're dealing with. And, I do feel like we're getting hit with something that is affecting. And I don't know if it's the fact that, this has happened in the past, and now that we're actually recognizing what they've done, and now it affects us because we're aware of what it's doing. So it's, so things are kind of changing in that way of recognizing, identifying that things are coming in without our free will sometimes, and how we're being affected. And that's why, like I said, I turned my TV around and put plants in front of it. I'm not watching the thing and just completely ignoring it. I'm not turning that on or watching anything right now. So, yeah. I mean, the only thing I could say is, computer and iPad stuff, but that's about it. I went up to my bedroom and I would just turn the fan on, and that is it. And I've noticed I slept better because it just feels like it's putting something at you. Where's Paige now? Putting something at you, and you're not taking that dosage every night when you're watching that TV and getting that frequency that's coming in that's trying to interrupt everything. So you have to look at that now and go, everything that you touch or use, I mean, so we're kind of really identifying all these programs that have been affecting us for such a long time. She wants me to open the door. One's out there. Gotta make sure. So anyway, that's the whole process with this, is we're dealing with issues that are affecting us, but now we're aware of how that has come at us instead of just denying it. And so you want to pay attention and actually share that information. Let me shut this one. Share that information with each other of how it's affecting you. So pay attention to when you turn the TV on, how you're reacting in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then if you turn it off, and how it affects you differently. Just like how it feels like when you're outside at 9:30 in the morning, and how it's changing now. I can feel the effect that it's a bright process. So we have to be aware of what has been happening for a while.
Right.
So I think everybody's just, questioning everything. So we can start with a list that one of my clients sent me, because she's kind of analyzed things, and I can go over if there's some on there that we're missing, and they can comment of some issues they've had, Ascension issues, and the one the other day I was complaining about is the Charlie horse that I got in the middle of the night. And I had another client was telling me, hey guys, she got the same thing in the middle of the night, and that's like the worst. You're just in a frozen process when you get that. It's hard. So across the board.
Right.
So it's not that type of situation. It is where we have to recognize it's affecting us. And so this might be a smart thing, daily writing down when you're getting affected, paying attention to that pattern. And then, like I said, wearing a mask at night. And before you go to bed, putting that on. And I had one client, she says, I put 2 on, it wasn't even dark enough. And I go, well, it's got to be pitch dark to just push that energy out.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice the difference. Yeah. Muscle cramps. So eating banana. I've ate a whole slew of those bananas. So, but yeah, it's crazy how it's affecting us in different ways. And we're going to what we know from the past that's supposed to give this relief, and it's not working the same way.
Right.
So blanket wrapped around the phone in aluminum foil. And I sleep at night. I started putting it on the other side of the room. Blackout curtains, yeah. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I have those.
Yep.
Yeah. They have those other sleep masks that have a, so it doesn't like push against your eyes. It has like it's not pressing and it just wraps, seem to
right,
hold more
like this.
power.
It has a
Yeah,
protection.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
And I have 2 different types of these, and that's the thing. It needs to be really blacked out where you can't see anything. It just feels more relief.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they have those. I think they're a massage or they're cool packs. They put them on the eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other side of the house. Yes. It's just, I mean, we just have to look at how things are affecting us and what it's doing. And we've had to never analyze it that way. Another one that you're seeing, because I've had it myself, is blood pressure going from one extreme to the other. From tiredness, and then you're fine. The next day, it's not the same pattern. It does something completely different. And so that's what's weird too. You can't analyze people in the same category in the same way anymore. Each person is different how they're being affected. Salt around my bed. That would be good, right? Calm down.
Right.
Yeah. So you want to go through that list? We can
Yes.
see what people are. Get back in there.
So we've got some migraine type headaches, not typical headaches, and they come with the dizziness and the nauseousness.
So where we're feeling it here, you know what I mean? You feel like everybody's feeling pressure on the head. It's like the Ascension issues. And me and you have gotten where there's been times where you're just like, whoa, it's like this. And it doesn't. It feels like you're moving. And that's another thing. And I got to tell you, and it's people that are more awake, that it's bothering them more when you hear the normies, and because it's changed in the past 2 weeks with the sun, and recognize, isn't that great? They're basking in the sun, and we're like, no, it's not the sun, And I have no flowers around my house now. Like, they're all dead, and they used to be blooming roses and everything, and I'm like, not this year. I'm not going to get any of that on any process. And I think Kim said, a client of mine, she was talking about, I smell rain in Texas. I got to smell the smell of rain for once.
Wow.
Smells is just desensitizing. That's another thing.
Right.
Like
it seems to be a lot of that smell that's desensitized, but more from the nature stuff, not like, because I can smell someone cooking meat on the stove and it's nasty, but I can't smell the rain.
Isn't that weird?
So it's not like I can't smell things. It's just I can't smell the nature stuff, which is odd.
It is. And that's the stuff you didn't realize you missed until it was gone. That is, and especially, I wonder, the fall time, there's a lot of different smells in the fall time. And I wonder, July is always kind of, you smell rain, at least rain, you smell that atmosphere, or even the wind blowing through and that freshness. We are not getting that either.
No.
No. And it's just, not only that, don't you guys feel like the clouds used to be a lot lower too? You know what I'm saying? When storms blow through, they seem to be a lot lower, and it doesn't seem they're hitting, even in the cities or skyscrapers or anything like that. It's not getting that low anymore on things. Or one thing at my farm in the morning, coming up from the fields, you would see this fog right above, and you're not seeing that at all either. Things they're changing. We're just missing these subtle things that are happening.
Right.
My dog is snoring. So yeah, so go ahead, and if you want to start with that list.
The next one, this full back pain, but she noticed more in her upper portion of her back. I know we've had that. We've sat there saying, "Oh, my back's killing me."
Heating pads. Heating pads.
That's it. Heating pad is your friend. Neck and shoulder pain.
Yep. Was it a couple days ago when I was talking about that astral thing coming in, and you're just feeling pressure here and in the back of your neck and then in the back on top of your head. Yep. That's been an issue too.
Yep. Feet feeling so heavy that it's hard to walk, and the feet feel swollen.
I even noticed that on some people, and I don't think they were even paying attention. I was looking at a friend the other day, and I was just like, her feet are all swollen. I don't know if she's even paying attention. But I feel like, okay, so I talked to Chief about this today. I was in the dollar store. So sensitive to every smell. And so I had to get out of the dollar store very quickly, because it just, everything, it like smells like that bother you very quickly. But you're outside, you can't smell anything. It's crazy. So I don't know, going in stores, if people are having issues with that, or standing in line a long time, and you get so irritated. So there's a lot of things going on.
Let's see, cramping, especially in the feet and legs, which you were mentioning. And sometimes numbing and tingling in the face and arms.
Oh, I got a new symptom too. Go ahead, keep going. I'll tell you.
Super thirsty, and she wants to chew ice. And then the other big one was the sudden sadness or feeling irritable, which you mentioned before. That's on that list. So.
And then that's where I think go blindfold when you're getting too emotional with two things, and then using the belt. So the past 2 days, I've been feeling around my wrist like this warmness, energy going like this. That was the new thing that I was getting. It was literally around. I'm like, that is weird how I'm feeling it all the way around my wrist. So, and I'm not saying that's a completely bad thing, but you're just noticing these feelings, and it's a warmness. And that started after I did a meditation with our original group in Signal. I don't know, maybe some of them have gotten something after that, but it was I've never felt that, a ring around my wrist of warmness.
Odd. Yeah. We'll have to ask the group.
I don't see if they.
Yeah, that was it for that list.
So people can comment on other things that they're having.
Getting intensely tired that you need to lay down immediately. Oh yeah.
I wonder how people are doing, and not just irritability driving, I can imagine in traffic, it's just, especially if you're emotional and irritable, and then someone cuts you off, this whole process. As I said, the highway or a bridge is not where I want to be when the plug is pulled.
No. Yeah, my son actually told me the other night, driving home from work, and he gets home late, so there's not as many people on the road. He almost got in 3 accidents because people were driving like crazy, going too fast around the corners, or just deciding they want to take up the whole road. Yeah, interesting.
Well, this is another thing that and just in people that you don't know or you're having conversation with, they want, and I'm just saying this because I've talked to some people where patience, and I'm talking, they want instant gratification right now. And I'm just talking patience. These are normal people in my life and having normal conversations. These are not clients or anything, but they are, I want to know now, or I want to figure this out now, and they don't want to wait. And then if I don't get instant gratification, I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that tells me that 3D is breaking down, because that program is not working anymore. Like I always say, that it's not an app. You don't get to, everything's done and over with when you push off the app. Gut issues. Oh yeah, gut. And some people,
yeah.
Some people, they're doing the opposite. That we're not wanting to eat, we're not wanting to drink anything. We're just, and then some people are saying they're the opposite. But I don't feel or have a taste for food. The way that like you were saying today, you couldn't taste cherries.
No. They're organic cherries. They're fresh. Nope, couldn't taste them. Even some watermelon, you couldn't get that, that nice ripe watermelon taste. Not there.
Yeah.
And it's all organic. I buy organic.
Right? But I've seen it on where they've showed it. It looks like it's rubber.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If I saw that, I think I would be like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to put
that's a movie prop. That's what that is to me.
Right. Or what is it? What is it in there? What?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think I think we were talking about this. There's just bubbles in the stomach, and you just feel like you're not digesting food properly, and it's feeling uncomfortable. So I think the whole taste of food, maybe they're trying to show us that this is not even a food you're even really dealing with in any way. So that is another issue we're having. So we'll move to another subject. I'll kind of let them go into some general questions they want, and then we'll go back to some of the focus stuff.
Okay.
So like the only thing I can tell you, the mask, keeping away from the sun, keeping yourself dehydrated, staying out of the sun, not letting you blister or anything like that. Okay. So
as a question, July 15th prediction.
Bullshit. Okay. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. Like, what was the other show I did? I said it on there too. I think I did. So remember, I'll use this as a reference. Remember when everybody wanted to hide their cell phone because somebody from a channel said that oh yeah, it was going to be so loud and all this stuff is going to happen, and I said, all you're going to hear is birds chirping, right? The sound of silence. This is the same thing on the cliff high bullshit. You're going to hear the same thing, and this is the thing, when they start something When the narrative does not happen, then they just change the subject to, and they look like it didn't exist. And I'm going to tell you the same as I said about the cell phone. Go back and call bullshit on the situation, because I do not believe, and if somebody in the group can give me details on exactly on what they're trying to tell me or say about that date. It's on the 15th, right? Of July? Is that what they're
That's
saying?
what they're saying. Yeah.
And I go by frequency of energy and what it feels on the balance. And usually when something's coming, there's an urgency. There's an urgency of preparedness that I get, or overwhelming. And then another thing is they wouldn't let me sleep in the first place ever. You'd be downloading all this information that's coming and get them prepared, like I always have with you guys. So I haven't even. Me and Ismail are doing a show next Saturday, so I'm gonna answer that question. So anyway, the thing is I would have felt it, seen something, like I did with what we're going to talk about, this astral belt that hit 110 miles an hour. And so I do not believe that at all. So if anybody's in the group that can say in the comments exactly what they're trying to say about that. And this is the same guy who was trying to put the angels down. So all I have to say about that.
Okay.
So it's a narrative that they're putting out there, and I just don't believe in the whole fear narrative on this process. 3 years ago, when we were in those, in that energy that I felt always heavy every day, and feeling that complete war that was going on, angelic, light and dark, we're not in that. I even try to tell people I don't I haven't felt any negative energy in a long time with power behind it. And that's the first thing I'll check on that situation, and I haven't felt that. And so there's a movement, a frequency would move up to that momentum of situation that would happen, right? And it's not building up to that. It's really actually light and gliding and moving into something that a cord might be pulled, but not in the situation of, in a fear process. It is more in a process of enlightenment and waking up to the situation. What day is 17th? So let me tell you, I did a reading on a guy that was a seventh son of the seventh son. That's going to be an interesting, pretty good too. Yes, he is talking crap. Clip High's talking crap again.
All right.
So that's the whole thing about this. It's a, and you can check with other intuitive people, or there's a sense that things build up, and it's an inner knowing inside how things build up to a major event coming. And I've come on here, and I think I'll give you guys an example when they wanted me to talk about Sophia energy, and it was not a warning of, it was a day, get it on there, get it done, post it now. I remember just the female energy is, it's presenting, it's strong. So, and it was, they have urgent matters, and I'm not feeling that urgent situation of warning. Anything with the storms I've warned, earthquakes I've warned, all that stuff, and it's not in this process. So, like I said, they can post the details if you want.
Okay. Mathis had a question that Wolverine guy is saying Japan is RVing and Reno has been funded and the U.S. is going like this month. Question.
I have a person that's in Japan, and he says they have changed the money. So I believe that that is accurate on that.
Okay.
They have changed out their money.
Okay.
And what about Vegas? Because I thought Texas.
No, he said, what? Did I miss something? Hold on. Rolling. Sorry, lady, I'm trying.
Well, Carrie can love Cliff Hyde all she wants. I don't care. I don't like him. I don't like what he does, and I don't like fear. At this process, no one should be pushing the fear, and they know it. But like I said, at the end, they have to show who their loyalty. It's either the dark or the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's another one. Are we not creating our own reality? The deep state knew this, so controlled the narrative for so long. Thoughts?
So I feel our thoughts when we, especially the fact how fast you can go into a higher meditation very quickly. And if you do this yourself, and I don't mean, and that's what I've always told everybody when I teach class, do not meditate from this ground of this earth at all. Imagine yourself going up through the sky and going past this earth. Okay? Don't meditate, don't do anything, just exit out and then feel like you're in a space process. Then go into that meditation. Do not do it here, as I've always taught. I bet you'll feel a completely different energy by feeling like you got through something, like a whole battle, purgatory, and then there's this refresh energy of complete balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this point, I don't, all this negativity and all this, it's pushing the ego again. Like I told you, we don't reside in anymore. It's not part of you. You've already gotten into your own intuition, making your own decisions on things. And anybody that's presenting fear right now. And again, somebody draw something. Somebody put something out there with details of drawings. Where is that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I can't be the only one that's doing this. So why don't they give it more detail? This is what I bitch about the remote viewers. Your vague perception from that keeps you safe of looking at a water tower and not giving you the details, I don't buy it. So if you're going to go all the way Monty, give us the details. Period. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So and not one peep from that side. So I'm just saying. So everybody has the capability of going up off this plane in a meditation state. Use the mask and sit up there, and you'll feel the complete difference of you being in charge of that energy. You don't ever do it from here. And so that's what they've said, and I welcome the feedback when you guys do that, but you don't need it. You don't need anybody. You can go up completely on your own. So the freedom is there. We just got to decide, and don't doubt yourself when you go through this process.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
So, and I don't know how many, and there's people in here that knows and all that stuff. There is probably the 10 people that I've said, I have no problem doing a platform of being challenged in front of you and doing from head to head on this information. But you know what? It's silent. Nothing. Okay. So back up what you're saying by showing what you can do.
Right.
It's all about the truth at the end. That's all that matters. Okay. And I'm saying that just because people are sick of the bullshit, like we talked about. They're sick of the games. We're over that. We're at a process where we should be looking at the direction of ascension and keeping focused on what needs to be paid attention to, and how we feel like we're going, our body, I think, is being dismantled in a different way, because the crystalline in our energy is important, and we're discarding what we don't need no more. And they want you to keep you in that physical vessel and think that you have to go through pain and suffering forever. Bull. Because everybody knows, and we dealt with this the other night, when you go through a proper meditation and you go up, when you come down off that, you're so numb. You can't feel pain. You can't feel nothing, because you went through an experience that we allowed the spirit to take control of the body and move energy in a very balanced way. So it's just the truth. You have control.
Right.
Got this. Thank you.
Let's see.
So, it's really going to be great at the end. And you're going to know who was telling you the truth and who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to get out of hiding or hiding in a cave or going down deep into the ground. It's like, but I had clients, when I do mediumship and stuff like that, they go, when a lie is presented in the spiritual realm, it is easily forgotten by the truth. When something true comes in and it just like kicks you in the ass, like boom, okay, here's a lie that someone brought, and here's the truth. Because the truth resides with our own soul. We know it's true. You can feel it. But we also can feel a lie. We have to feel that too. So we know that you guys can make those decisions on your own. But call them out on it. Go back to them when they're not accurate or right about it. Say something to them. So I think it's the best way to do it. And where we had this before, it wasn't couth to call out these certain people with this idolizing, the ego process. And now people are getting comfortable saying what's in their soul. They're getting comfortable and saying, no, you're wrong. I don't care who you are. I'm going to say what I feel and what it feels from the soul. It's good that people are finally, don't care what title they have, because look at Hollywood. That was a bad example of idolizing that, or thinking that they knew what they were doing, because they were the most programmed across the board. So now you look at that example and say, no, I'm speaking my truth across the board on the situation. We're done being entertained.
Right. Okay, I don't know if this is so much of a question, but Melissa says she meditated 7 years or so ago and saw a red ruby over the earth. Outside the earth in space was like a warping. It looked like liquid almost and hard to explain.
Ruby.
Interesting.
Energy. But that also has to do with the Pleiadians, and that's how it was presented to me in that. And that's why it was so red, and how we how red it was, and how it's elusive energy, and there's a solid energy, and then there's abundance that comes from it. That's the whole thing about it. It's something we haven't seen before and we don't understand. So while we're going into that, I started with the rough draft. Keep helping me with this to finish things up. Didn't have that great a time. She does awesome stuff. You guys know she does really good stuff. So so this gets you to understand that belt and all these stones coming towards that direction, and how these planets are vibrating, and that's how they showed me a long time ago how it was going to come, and this is how we kind of feel that we're not in the same place, we're not dealing with the same type of energy at all in any way. So it's pretty good on the how to describe it and how these look. They don't look like complete rocks, and how they stay in one place and energy moves through it. So this is what, when I saw that stuff coming towards our direction and it hitting, and that's the thing. I mean, we can't we cannot just think that there's nothing going on above, and there's nothing there, and we just think, like I said, I don't think space is colorblind colors. It is not black and white. And I want anybody to even notice in the past months that you have seen stars so close, like you have in the last summer. I haven't seen it like that. I haven't seen the Milky Way in a long time. It's just very distant. Something is way off, and we're staying occupied in what they're trying to put in front of us to occupy us with Brannon, which has been annihilated from the get-go, and we're still tapping in and thinking that's important. So yeah, it's very interesting of how, if you pull yourself out, and this is what I always say, put yourself behind the veil, and pull yourself away from this world, and you're looking at that in the view that you want to see it, and pull yourself out of attaching emotion, connection with it, you're going to find this quietness that settles down in the mind and feels calm across the board. So
here's a question for you. Let's see. Maria says she lives at the north of Norway, and she's noticed like crystals on the ground everywhere she walks. What's your thoughts about that?
Are they blue?
I don't know. Maria, are they blue?
Are they turning blue? Because if they're turning blue, you're going to have a bunch of people out there with buckets.
That's it.
I would be curious to what color they are, how often it's happened, and I'd be taking pictures at night, because they have to be coming from some source or somewhere. So that would be very interesting. The pollution fog, as I call it, it's not even clear fog. It's we are under the dome, the firmament, some kind of like, the Simpson movie. We just never can get out of a Simpson movie, right? It just keeps repeating over and over.
The Simpson Groundhog Day.
You guys have more questions, we can kind of go through some marks. And more, I'm gonna kind of go into some questions that I picked up earlier.
Scrolling through, I'm wondering if I got most of them. Do higher dimensionals use a type of AI?
No. Okay. Don't need it. We don't need it. Because everything's in a collective capability, and trusting it, and tapping into what we've always had inside us. We've just had dumbed it down. So yeah, it's definitely I think at the end of this, when they actually show and reveal what you were always capable of doing, we're going to be like, God, really? It was right there, you know?
Right.
Why weren't we paying attention? You know, that's the whole thing, you know?
They're too busy looking at the TV,
Right.
you know?
Ascension. Right? No. Can't say enough about Wizard always giving a weekly presentation about what you should be putting in your mouth. So I noticed he did that today. So he takes it weekly. So, and that's an apple flavored. So anyway, I'm gonna have to try that anyway.
That's different. Question: to ascend, we work from the heart chakra, correct? Not the brain.
Yes, and we can push that out, and we've done that as a collective, moving that energy and as it comes as a collective as one, because as I've seen above, as that energy is pushed out as a group, as a collective, and then that energy is so powerful as one together, because we are one as together.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of aligning war, we're aligning with peace. We're not picking the negative, we're picking the light of peace. So I'm just going through some questions here. So it's all about the flow of life now. And I think we're at the process of the end of the game. And MRA said that at the very end, they're going to take as many as they can with them. And we're at this you say, a stage of being sensitive, being annoyed. I mean, it just feels like we're getting sparked all the time right now, and I really believe that those 3 days of darkness has to do with the fact that there has to be dark for this to flip in a different direction. So we think it's about pulling the power, and I actually think it's about pulling big light that's outside, pulling that plug on that situation. So
Unless it falls from the sky, like on the other movie.
what?
Unless it falls from the sky, like that other movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember the other movie.
Right. Yep, there is. I mean, the whole thing. I'm from. They never wanted us to walk in our abundance, abundance of the funding that's coming, the abundance of light, the abundance of our soul, the abundance of what we're capable of doing. They didn't stop us. They still haven't stopped us. And so we are at that bending knee moment of humbleness. And I'm telling you, like I keep telling people, at the when that happens, our energy as one collective, just that alone of lifting that burden, that changes the earth right there in that energy. That sets a freedom already. That very existence. That is very powerful. That alone just annihilates the dark. And that is, if you've ever known anything about demonic energy or anything like that, the light they cannot stand. They can't stand mirrors either. I mean, the negative cannot stand mirrors, but yeah, I mean, it's just really looking at things around you and what you've really been completely in control of. It's just a screen that's in front of you that's been keeping you occupied.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the truth. So I kind of want to go with that sun. I want to talk about this. remember I talked about this mirror effect, right?
Oh
And I
yeah.
talked about in the sky that the golden ages and the golden city, you know, as you see reflection. And I'm starting, you know, wondering, you know, how, you know, this is the root of a tree, but this is the whole reflection as it looks like just many pyramids, but reflections in the sky. And I'm wondering if I was picking up something else as I was drawing this. So it makes me wonder, you know, in the days to come, how these reflections are going to change, you know, and are we going to see a movement of pyramids? Are you going to see a movement of a reflection of a pyramid? Are we going to, is that going to change? So that's the thing. I mean, that's why, and they've said it. Many people have said, just keep your eye in the sky, but you can't see it right now because you're so blinded by the white.
Between that and the clouds that are there, you can't see past them.
Right, and the fog. So, you know, you gotta get your shots when you can, or use a welding mask that I keep telling people. Take out the welding mask, then look at it and see if you can see stuff. I would tell everybody, get a welding mask.
Mm-hmm.
Get around it. Figure it out. That's the whole process of doing this. So if anybody wants to talk about some storms that are hitting or anything like that. But I do want to bring this up. Remember the buses,
Oh yes, the
and the
buses.
cities, and the isolation and the lockdown. Um, there has to be a first city this happens in. So I'm going to bet New York and Chicago. I'm going to bet it's those two. I just have a feeling.
Okay.
But those are the first two. You're going to start to see that stuff. This, you know, the white buses, the white tents, the isolation, because that's the military is known for making barriers where they don't want people to go into. So I'm just, and then not allowing you to know what's going on. So, and then I want to go over, refresh some quotes that I talked about again, so we can go over this, because this is, they said it was important. When I channeled a bunch of stuff from Creator. So why didn't they know? Because they didn't have permission to know. This is where you have to trust us, and they have no choice. We have to covet. We have to covet and what we did not want man to have. You know, they want to covet it so you don't see it, you can't access it. We're talking about what's in the sky, you know, what they carry and gave it to Creator. We're talking about the giants again, right? Because I told you about the sound coming from the sky because of man. This is why it has been hidden until we brought it up to the golden city. Okay, so let me explain this. Why didn't they want us to know? They didn't have permission. We go with this giant. Remember, I go back to these giants who were carrying this device. And I've repeated this over and over and over. This is important, and that's why I think on a lot of the giants, they make them look like they're horrible. They were very intelligent beings. They could build a lot of things, and I just believe was a different trust with them, and I believe they worked with a lot of the gods in the past on these situations. So to have a device like that and protect it and move it among our earth for a certain amount of time, for a certain reason. So So let's go back to this. I see the bottom of the ocean shimmering of a gold city, that the planet's conscience. This is the one city that will surface. Gold is everywhere, on everything. This is where we talk about the mountains. It's bright. Remember, they keep saying the whole earth is a puzzle. That can change. Dimensional doors can surface around and around like a precious puzzle, like a Rubik's Cube, and put back together as we are showing light that comes from the chairs.
Are there more pictures of chairs coming?
Chairs that do certain things that are not the normal human type of chairs. I'm just, yeah, whole different situation on that one. That's another going to be a whole different for YouTube on that stuff. So let's see where we are, back at the alignment together. Pyramids and ley lines, and the big cities stands above everything in our conscience. So the big cities, which are the higher conscience, because I always see cities not on the ground but above. So here we go back to this again. It says it again. Like a Rubik's Cube that is put together, and they are showing me light that comes from these chairs. Now, if you go on to my Instagram, there is a golden chair with a golden light with lions and a key.
Mm-hmm.
That's on there. I think I have a picture somewhere, but I don't.
If I have it on here, I don't know.
Do we have it on there?
Here we go. Is that it? Can you check your share section?
Okay. And yes, so that is it.
There you go.
Is it going? That's it. You see the chair, and you see the energy above the chair, and the red, and the red is the earth with that ruby process, and the gold bars below, and the red carpet, and the keys, and these large, very large protective lions. So that is one process with that. So let's move on to my confusing writing as people go, what is she talking about? I always read it the way they say it. You're going to have to go back over and over on this one. To get rid of everything that is negative off the plane and the planet, our energy has to rise. They already sounded the alarm, and it is constantly going to play until everything is done. They all looked down to see the plates being put together in action. Now wait a minute. Now I just recognize this. These plates, now it's in the plates, but I just did the plates, what, 3-4 months ago?
Maybe more.
I didn't recognize it in this download, which we're talking about these, the plates that I saw at the bottom of the ocean, right?
Okay, yep.
To,
yep. Yeah, so that's about 3 months ago.
Right? But this was done, this download was done in 2022, as I'm describing this. So as we're talking again, and then they just talked about it. So everything is negative, that the planet has to rise. They already sounded the alarm, and they will constantly play until everything is done. They are all looking down and seeing the plates being put in action.
Mm-hmm.
So that's to be at active mode. And if that is a rotating process, because that's on Instagram too. I just never, when I read this, I didn't put the current plates that I did
Right.
said this word until I just did it recently. So it just coincides with this. Each mountain and volcano will move into the plate of the puzzle. Oh, whoa. Each mountain and volcano will move into the plate of the puzzle. So there goes back to the fact that our planet is just this puzzle that shifts and changes. I'm not even looking at chat. I gotta look at chat because. Okay, hold on. Chat. Did that disappear? Okay, there it is. Oh, Lorraine Howard. Yeah. I saw red around Trump sitting in the golden king chair. Yep. Shepherd. How can something as beautiful as nature, like nature itself, can there be a city that interacts with everything and can be cleared out suddenly and very fast?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a process in the 3D, it's a process within seconds, within milliseconds. You know, that's the whole thing about this. So they are looking down at and seeing the plates being put in action. So we're in an action process, and our oceans are reacting, the volcanoes are acting, the earth is reacting. I mean, all this stuff that we're in that process, you know. I guess I should read these downloads in the past more. Oh, well, the plates are right there. But anyway,
raw and live. This is how it works with Jenny,
houses
right?
and volcanoes move into the plates. Okay, how can something as beautiful as nature, like nature itself, so be in the city and interact with us? Everything that can be cleared out suddenly and very fast. So here's a question. So I am asking a question. This is when I presented to the creator. So Lucifer, is he around? No, he is gone, dismantled. So, and that's when I said that I couldn't feel that energy anymore, and it's been a while. So I think with the negative people, they're manifesting their own, and they don't have anything to work off of. And then you see the normies getting so annoyed, and so because you're not believing anything, and you're not taking on their energy, and you're just staying away from it. And we're going clearing from that, taking that golden path, and we're going the other direction. So let's go down to this part. This is one I really like. They have released the magnificent creatures that have been put down into inner earth, and so they can fly again and bring inner peace. On the top of the pyramid, there. Hold on a second. Let me read this to a point you can understand. Top of a pyramid, there's a circle of light, the circle of all lights. We need to, no interference, no opinion when this process happens. And it has the Galaxy Federation on it. So, I mean, we're dealing with a lot of things that are changing on what we're in. I mean, you can go back and look at this, where we're at. We're in this right now. We're in this process right now. They are all concentrating on ascending on their own. Remember what they have to get out. They are white and gold pyramids in the sky, shining lights, crafts that were always there. You know, and that's the thing, is we look at things in such a 3D, we don't, and that's like those shimmers that kind of, those reflections that look like pyramids in the sky. So this is the thing that keeps replaying for me on the seventh seal. I saw on the right hand of him and sat at the throne and scrolls and was writing on both sides of the seals with seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming his loud voice, who's worthy to break the seals and open up the scrolls. But no one in heaven or under the earth could open the scrolls. And this is where I tell you, it's our conscience of humanity that has the capability to do this as one. I've always said that. More questions?
All to be done together. Yeah.
They're all like,
everybody's like, this movie's taking too long.
well, they're gonna have to. This is another YouTube they're gonna have to listen to. Again,
oh yeah, they'll probably
and again.
Let's see. Mathis, who's Jenny keep messing with in the astral? That's right. Who keeps messing with him in the astral? Mathis keeps waking up fighting.
On healing intentions of information, would reading be helpful for this? Yes, a reading would be very helpful.
Sean's question, yes, I did.
Childhood trauma, humble healing. Yeah, just give me a call and set up a time, and we'll see what Spirit says. So the thing is, I mean, like I always put this information out and just waiting for it to lead up to a situation. And like I said, we're in these times, you know, of what's going on. We're all it is, literally. People are waiting for this. It's not a financial shift. It's literally an energy shift. It's literally the break of the seal in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
A refreshed fresh air, a refreshed energy, a refreshed love and abundance through all the planet. The whole planet is ready for it. The whole planet is ready to work together. The whole planet is ready to work as one. The whole planet is ready to help this planet and not allow something to limit us from achieving those goals now.
Mm-hmm.
Giving, I'm gonna go back to what I posted, I don't know, 2018, when we got to this point, what we would have to do for humanity. And it has to do, I can find it. You can look at questions while I'm looking for this if you want.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Forever. I'll try to find it here real quick. Here it is. The Spirit is the true light. Hold out your hand. Hold on, I can't see this whole thing. Time to lead the Spirit to the true light. Hold out your hand to the confused souls that are waking up to the true light without judging the souls of darkness. That we weep to be led to the healing light. It's time to lead them to the humble sounds of the light that will purify us as one soul together. There is no skin, tone, or soul that the light will turn away. Hold out your hand, reach to them. And that was in 2020 that I did that. And I was showing you that in this process it has another seal, a green seal with the light coming in. Because that's what you're going to do. That's what these people of abundance, people of clarity, they know that's what they're going to do. They know that that's what they're going to do when this happens. That's what brings humanity together in a whole balance. You know, because this whole world's turning upside down. It's being desecrated in a different way. When it comes back from the ashes, that knowing inside is what we're a part of.
Right.
That Creator already knows that you're going to do that. So
yeah, that kind of goes along with Teresa's question of not everyone is meant to wake up, and the ones that aren't most likely won't. Maybe some get a rude awakening, or those who do, that's who you have to help up.
Right. Even though some you want to drag through the mud before you help them up. It might be a mud pile or two. But you got to, that's part of the noble side of doing that. But yeah, it's where we're at on things. And it's the trueness of where we're going on that. But yeah, I mean, we're here. So, like, I think this weekend that there's warm temperatures across the board, and I believe this is a process to try to keep us in more. We might have another degree of that flashlight making us feel more out of it, more crappier, and putting us in a stasis. I don't know, but I feel like something's extreme. I think we're having the intuitive people are having a powder moment. Everything's so sensitive, and that energy in the sky, and all of us do want to be taken up by it and be done and just disappear. I'm just saying, we're going all through a powder moment, and you're feeling animals, and you're feeling sensitivity, and you're feeling pain from everything. You're going through this process. We are having a powder moment, a powder existence.
I have to watch that again.
Yeah, that's a good movie, and how he felt everything, and he knew he didn't belong here. He knew that he wanted and had a desire to go back home. So it's just funny how it's just so, and you can't, anybody that I know that's been doing the work for a long time, that existence of that energy, of that desire, of that connection, of that wanting and figuring it out and being a part of that and knowing, and don't care whether people get it or not. It's the desire of the light. It's the desire of the light, of the collective light, period.
Let's see.
Powder,
yep. All right.
And wasn't that it's a 90s movie, I think. Yeah, it's an incredible movie you should watch.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
So here's a good question. I know you've mentioned it before, and now, of course, trying to look forward as these things come through. Sherry's asking, what do you know about the humanitarian projects? Is there a form or instructions to apply for funding? kind
This
of an
is the thing.
That's I figured you get.
Because
Yeah.
I did not get this from any society or anything, and I got this from Spirit saying, when we end up going to the banks with our personal information and everything that we're attached to, and because that conscience of that system knows exactly who you are, and that is one of the questions they're going to ask about what you need for yourself or your body. They also, what is it? How do you want to serve humanity?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe, and like Spirit said, do you really believe that you need to fill out a form for this situation? Don't you think we already know? So my answer is, when you get your abundance and you make up your appointments, I believe that that information is going to be set in front of you, because everything's, as things start, that'll be the first step. And that is the one place that has the training and understanding of what's going on. And they also already told you that the bank systems have nothing to do with you have access and your private information. So I'm getting that ring right now around my arm again, that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, at that moment, when they ask that question, you'll know. So they told me no forms, nothing to fill out. Everything's a happenstance situation. It's going to develop in the way it needs to. This is beyond the 3D process. So yes,
I think that'll
I
help
was
a lot of
telling
people.
you, just bring it.
Right.
Just bring it. Show me. Create it, and it'll be there. That is the thing. Man is not in charge of making these rules and regulation anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Tried it that way. It didn't work out. So what's in your heart is already known. And like they've said, we know every conversation. We know everything. We have it all. And we do.
Mm-hmm.
And they do. So, and I believe, like I said, that abundance of what you have given on this earth and that time that you have given to others is noted and recognized and valued. It's important.
Right.
So, and I can't say, even I've probably said it 100 times for myself, and I'll explain this to people. I need a van. I need equipment. I need computers, drones. I
Yep.
need higher technology, because, like I said, I want, like, the stuff that has been hidden for years for family members that have not been able to find their loved ones and has been hidden, and some of us know where they are, and we just need the equipment and the access to get there, and we've been stopped. And that is, when I'm digging in the mud or trenching something, that I'll be happy making sure. That's all that matters. So I don't care how dirty I am in the mud, but to bring resolution and peace to the family is what matters. That is my project.
Right.
Period. That's what matters. Because the souls that you cannot see, that you not all of us hear, has a voice, and they are saying, "Find me and tell my story and find my marine, my body." The children, the adults, there are many. So it's, I believe this world's going to be one big graveyard for a while after they have to dig everything up. So it's important.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has to go within their heart, and I think we just have not been shown that or given that. Thought that it was a choice to somehow step up and serve. So, but they showed us how to serve. If we would just go to church and do what the program said, that would be it. And that's not true. That's not. Because I can tell you, and I've witnessed walking by in a city, and people have a view of just putting things aside because they're so used to seeing them. And like I said, I look at bums different. It's disguises. If I was going to be any spiritual being, it'd be a bum, because they would never pay attention. They would never look. It'd be an incredible disguise. So you have to see them in a different way. So it's pretty neat. Okay, we can go on some more questions.
Okay, let's see.
And I should mention I'm doing a special for mediumship for the ones on the other side for the special this month, and classes and readings. So it's just something I can mention in there. So
someone is asking if they should pay state taxes if we're being and they're sending notices.
First of all, look how thick the paper is. State is going to be a very thick piece of paper. And if it looks like it's copied, and for the state, I don't believe that the state is going to be released completely for at least, I don't know, could be up to a year, but I don't know. This is what I come to conclusion on that. The old ways of things. So if you're going to accept trillions in abundance through states, wouldn't you have to agree to let the old regime go? And you can't take from here and then take from here. So if that answers your question, each state that takes money, I don't think they can take from the dark and take from the light at the same time. So I'd be looking at your states of when that abundance comes in and asking those questions, because I do not think that works that way. Reside with our new laws and our new humanity way of doing things, or you're not getting your abundance.
Okay. Let's see. So far, not too many questions. A lot of comments. Again, let's see. Again, asking if the normies ever be shown that Brandon was just an actor or actors. We're hoping.
It reminds me of that comedy show when you're at the end of the show and they pull the mask off and they go, "Oh God, I should have known." That's the last phase of the show. But I really think I'm going to enjoy the shepherd's reaction when he shows everybody that go, "Yep." That expression he has. It's funny. But yeah, I really believe you should have known.
Right.
How much of a fool do we have to make him? I don't know. It boggles the mind. It does. Okay. So,
another question, Mary saying, someone just showed the Federal Reserve with a wall around it. They said it used to be a fence, but now it's like a high wall. Anything on that?
Well, what I know from dealing with construction, and when you don't, for safety reasons, and if you're going to get ready to dismantle something. And I'd be looking for. So maybe a big crane is coming.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Be cheering, everybody be cheering on and celebrating that, right?
It'd be neat if Trump was driving it.
It wouldn't it? Yes, he would. He'd be saying, "Look at this. Let's and that wrecking ball. Put a, you know what? Take the wrecking ball, put a certain thing on the wrecking ball."
There you go.
Right? Or that might be fun. Just, you know,
Never know.
that would be interesting to put something on the wrecking ball. I think, or several of those wrecking balls. The same.
Another question: will Trump need to be back and announced to the public before the money is released?
I like how they're already doing things, and he's already in that position, and everybody knows if you're paying attention to things. Here's a process. They don't even know that Biden is gone. Do you, even if him announcing and saying that, do you think they're really even going to accept that? They won't even believe that. Mm-hmm. So I just think he has to go about his business as he already is. Because what it is as things are shown the truth, the reality has to come in, and they have to accept it at their own veil, and he's just going to keep going. He's not going to sit back and wait for them to catch up. He's going to keep going. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's always 4 to 5 steps ahead of everything and playing it out in a massive golden chess game. So I don't think he has to wait for anybody. They just have to catch up. So all it is you're already seeing names that are signed here and names that are signed here, and I mean he's put it everywhere. Like I said, I think we're over being specially graceful and being delicate on how they get it. We're at the point where they're going to hit the pavement hard, and they're going to have to deal with the reality of it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the puke buckets. I'm going to start selling the puke buckets. Going to be carrying them around. Just saying, they chose it. They chose it.
Right.
So, well, I think this has been a good enlightened show.
Yeah.
When is
the fake sun going away? That's a good question.
You're going to ask Elon Musk
right.
to take those rockets
down
and aim it right there. Yeah. Right. And we will get in 3 days of darkness really quick. Right. So it has to be soon, because nature and all of us that are on this realm can not exist holding that type of energy in that way. So I'm hoping that overnight, and all of a sudden, it's a completely different energy. And I think I've showed it in the group, where you take an orange sun from a couple years ago and how your body instantly, spontaneously reacts to that sun, and then you put this one up, and it's so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So that's what you have to look for. And right now, while we're going through that, just go buy a bunch of welding glasses and start looking up and recording it and putting it out there. I keep asking them, replace this, get rid of it. Right.
There was the one question, A couple questions on Baron Trump. Do you know what his mission is in all this?
I believe it's in a higher conscience of understanding for a position, but he has a position of strength. And I think that is a good energy to use as a guardian for this world. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in a 3D concept, I don't think. But they are in fear of it, and that is a good thing.
Someone's saying, I want so badly to get my kids out of the school system, but my normie wife will take custody from me if I do. Oh, that's a tough one. Something to talk about.
Well, education has to accept.
Yeah, that's going to change.
Money. This is the new process, so we're going to see what that happens before school starts.
Do you have any comments on 107? He seems to be telling the truth. He says, prepare for a massive event. Any thoughts?
Now, all I can say is those type of people are supposed to be doing this and not asking people for money on how much they can make off the show. So I do not believe it is the one that they keep saying he is, because it's not about money in that way. So all I have to say is somebody was not happy with the situation, and I don't believe the real one would ask for money at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know who's. There could be several, there could be 4, there could be 5 playing different parts. It's never resided me with that whole process with that one at all. And I want you to understand that I don't know where people think they have that much time when they're trying to do everything else, and then they have that much time to go on a YouTube. I don't think so.
No.
I do not think so. There's other sources that they use, and they do not need to go on YouTube and present this information. They know it. Just like the military doesn't. If they put something out, they know how fast it can go out. So, no, I don't buy into the 107 at all.
Someone did make a comment. They said they're noticing more people are changing their minds about Trump. So it seems the darts are connecting, which is good.
Good.
Finally.
It's probably hitting them in the pocket now. So, and it's hurting them. They're finally seeing that. So, I think we're at a good point. So you guys know how to contact me. You know how to set up appointments, classes, all that stuff. Contact me. It's not as if my phone number is not on the website. You know, when everybody can text me on certain things, and they know that I'm accessible. So, so I think that is all we have for tonight.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Good job, Jeep.
Oh, thank you.
You guys take care. Stay in the light. Not in that one. Not the one outside. Okay. Good night.